We are live.
Namaste. Good morning, everyone. It is such an auspicious day. So today we have the visionaries and the wisdom of people like Shivani ji and the top doctors of the country going to teach about parenting in these challenging times. Good morning. I'm Ravi Teja. I'm one of the co-founders of the iMumz app. On November 2nd, 2019, we are blessed by Sister Shivani ji to launch the iMumz app for pregnancy. And in the last 1.5 years, the results are phenomenal. More than 3 lakh pregnant women were benefited by iMumz app. And in this pandemic challenging situation, they've meditated for more than 30 lakh minutes. And they got all the tender love and care, motherly care through the iMumz app. In this lockdown, many pregnant women, they even ask their mothers not to travel to them because they have iMumz app with them. Having such love and care, after delivering their bundle of joy, they want to continue with the same continuity in their pregnancy journey as well. That is the reason there are so many challenges in parenting as well. And our team of experts came up with a revolutionary responsive parenting program, which we are going to be presenting today. And again, we are so much blessed to have Sister Shivani ji today, who is going to bless us again with the launch of this new parenting version. So without further delay, I request the first guest of the session, none other than Dr. Jaideep Malhotra ji to address us and to talk about how to making the motherhood incredible. Dr. Jaideep Malhotra ji is very well-known personality. She is one of the key opinion leaders and one of the top doctors of the country. She is also the co-founder of iMumz and the past president of FOXY, which is the world's largest organization for obstetricians and gynecologists. She dedicated herself for the last 30 years in the service of women health, and today she is going to tell how to make the motherhood incredible. Over to you, Dr. Jaideep Malhotra ji.
Thank you, Ravi, and a very good morning to all of you. Om Shanti. It's incredible today from where we started and where we have reached. And that's something which is very important for all of us. I am a third generation gynecologist in my own family, and we have delivered more than 50,000 babies. And I have seen the change in the practice and the change in the patients which has come up all over these years. And I would really like to now put that experience to some understanding to each one of you. Because we understand as doctors, the burden of maternal health is too much on us. Today, we have more than 50 million pregnant women and about 29 million births which are happening in our country. And we have just about 100,000 obstetricians in our country. If you think we can all do justice to every woman in this country, it is next to impossible. And let us also face the facts. Out of these 130 million which are having births globally, half of the women have anemia, obesity, malnutrition, and hyperglycemia, and their hypertension or high blood pressure. Now, we do understand that in their pregnancy, they are suffering, but the children inside their womb are also suffering because their outcome, once they come out, is going to be totally affected and the outcomes are poor. And that is one of the reasons we have to understand that why diabetes is increasing, why non-communicable diseases are increasing in the world. India is the diabetic capital of the world. India is the preterm birth capital of the world. India loses maximum number of children under 5 in the country or in the world because of malnutrition of the mother or anemia of the mother. Now, I would go a little ahead and say, all this what I'm talking about, when a mother faces in the pregnancy, when she is trying to conceive or the preconception period, and then during pregnancy, have a larger impact on the health of the child. And once these children become adults, they are suffering from various diseases. And it's not only disease, which I'm talking about. There are a lot of these cancers, cardiovascular diseases, respiratory diseases, and diabetes where the foundation is laid in the womb of the mother. I'm not even talking about that. I'm also talking about that most of the mothers are under tremendous stress. We have actually today made pregnancy as a disease. Pregnancy is no disease. Pregnancy is giving stress to the mothers. It should not give. It is something which should be enjoyed because you are going to bring out a beautiful being into this world. But this stress in the mothers is actually leading to a lot of behavioral and cognitive disorders in the children, which go on further. And that's why we need to understand that this stress in the mothers needs to be reduced so that our progeny, and especially not one or two next generations, need to be healthy. So iMumz app was conceived and brought out because of this, because me as a gynecologist could not do justice to the amount of counseling which was required. iMumz app, when we came out in 2019 November, was based on two very important aspects. One was our time-tested science, which was coming from our own country, the Garbh Sanskar, and the other was the fetal origin of adult diseases. Now, this is really important because we do understand that all the foundations are led, in the womb of the mother. And if women who actually, are exposed to some selected aspects of Garbh Sanskara, they have significantly reduced stress. They have very importantly, coping up strategies to these stress, and that will lead to a much lesser disease in the future generations. So based on all this knowledge, we basically formulated 10 components of the Adbhut Matratva or iMumz, which were based on preconception, antenatal counseling during, the pregnant period, preparing somebody for the birth, diet, nutrition, very important aspect, cosmetic care. Women are worried, these days, immunization, yoga, exercise, music, meditation, bonding of the baby with the parents and the doctor, very important for a normal natural delivery, and postpartum care, again, very important. Now, once we achieve that with this wonderful, incredible app, which is today accepted by almost 300,000 women in the country and the world, and plus thousands of our doctors. If you see these numbers, and thanks to Sister Shivani, who is there today, who gave her blessings right in the beginning of the launch of this app and also the program, that today we are able to sort of serve and bring this journey of pregnancy into a very incredible and blissful one for many, many mothers and families, I would say. And we are looking at a lot of good outcomes. The most important is that motherhood is incredible and this journey needs to be blissful. Bonding of the mother and the father with the baby, very important, and so is it important for the staff. And for them to deliver normally, this fear of vaginal delivery has to be allayed, which you and I only can do. And also sensitizing on the various important aspects of pregnancy and education makes a woman empowered. Her knowledge leads her to follow certain things much better. And in lieu, we are going to actually build a future healthy generations. Now, let me make you understand the rest. Now, the numbers say it all. We have almost 300,000 women who are logged on to us. We have done almost 3 million minutes of engaging with them on various activities which are there on the lab, be it diet, be it yoga, be it bonding exercises. We've answered 50,000 or more plus questions which on the app, especially during the pandemic period, yoga sessions and meditation sessions from 6 to 7 in the morning, and ask me anything session from 6 to 7 in the evening. And this led to a very heartwarming, incredible reports, which we have analyzed, and we have understood that 86% of the women who were actually logged on to us had much lesser stress for their pregnancies. 76% of them had confidence in the labor. They were not fearing the labor and delivery, which were so scared of. And the best and the most surprising part, and the most expected part, which I really wanted, was that breastfeeding, which only 27% women used to actually do, we had a 50% increase in acceptance of breastfeeding by the mothers, and which has tremendous value for the children. 81% of these women had much better, prepared for postpartum blues. And the babies were actually achieving their milestones much faster, to the tune of almost 96%. And the most important another was that almost 20% of the birth weight was more as compared to the other babies who were born, who are not, the mothers who are not using the iMumz app. Now, this is something really eye-opening, and these are just initial statistics. We are going to come up with much more in the times to come. But by doing this only, our next challenge came up, because all these young parents started telling us how to raise up these children, because these were nuclear families. They did not have much help around to help them. So iMumz today is very, very proud to launch our responsive parenting app, which you will soon watch. And we are going to see all the aspects of this responsive parenting app, which is coming up very soon in this program. And iMumz also is very, very happy to bring you the first issue of our iMumz magazine, which again will add a lot of value in empowering women and couples towards bringing up babies in a much better holistic manner. So thank you so much for being with us, and I'm sure this is going to be of great help to our incoming future generations. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Dr. Jaydeep ji, for guiding us through the incredible journey of motherhood. We have a couple of minutes and we have a testimonial video how mothers are feeling the importance of iMumz app. One second.
Delivering a baby during this pandemic situation was the most stressful part that I was dreading in my pregnancy. I was in complete panic mode, thinking about what if I get infected with COVID-19, or my baby gets infected through me, or in the worst scenario, what if the baby gets infected on the operation table. I was in complete stress. I was not able to bond with my baby like I was earlier. Then one day, fortunately, I came across iMumz breathing exercises. I participated in few of the sessions, and my stress just got vanished. Thanks to iMumz for helping me bond with my baby again, and it's keeping me stress-free. And I'm able to create a better and safer home environment for my baby's upbringing. After all, this is what a mother wants, only the best for her baby. Now that I think of my entire pregnancy journey, it is only iMumz that has instilled confidence in me as a mother. Now, when I go stressing about what to eat, what not to eat in pregnancy, I get the best weekly diet plan designed around the right nutrition intake. Also, when I feel like talking to my baby, it is iMumz Talk to Baby exercises that taught me how to do it. Also, I get to know about my baby's weekly growth and prepare myself for all the expected weekly symptoms beforehand. How exciting it is. Also, I don't get bogged down by my new symptoms every day. So it is good to know, right? Yeah, not just this, but I get answers for all my queries from the expert doctors instantly when I am unable to reach to my gynecologist due to this pandemic situation. Here is my go-to. Also, I recite iMumz stories to my baby every night before going to sleep, and my baby kicks back telling me that he or she is enjoying it along with me. Also, the app helps me feel complete and satisfied as a mother every day. It helps instill the feeling of motherhood in me right now, even when I'm yet to see my baby. I would recommend all pregnant women to use iMumz during pregnancy and enjoy motherhood already, right from the time your cutie pie is growing inside you and preparing for the world outside.
How important it is for a woman to enjoy her pregnancy. And I am so happy that I have a team of 3 unmarried guys who have helped us develop this beautiful app, which all these pregnant women are enjoying. And probably nothing could be as heartwarming as it is today to look at this video. And I'm going to bring in somebody very important here, because our fraternity endorsement is very, very important as far as the app is concerned. Because today, all of us gynecologists are feeling challenged in how to help our women more, how to reduce the maternal mortality, how to increase, the vaginal delivery. And I have a very, very special person who's very close to my heart. That's Dr. Shanta Kumari, who's the president-elect of Foxy, the most dynamic woman I have ever met in my life. She is much younger than me, but I respect her and I actually get inspired by her strength, because today I know these are the kind of women who can bring in the change in our society. Shanta is from Hyderabad and she is the president-elect. I think, Shanta, this suffices your introduction, because your words are going to speak for yourself about the challenges which you have faced and what our fraternity is facing in helping our pregnant women. Shanta, looking forward to hearing from you.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you, Jaideep, for your, I don't know what to say, your introduction. Jaideep is my elder sister. She has been a source of inspiration for me right from the beginning. Yes, we have a age gap, but then most of my best friends are, almost all of them are elder to me. So I think I enjoy the company of seniors, because I think we learn with their experience. And I think in the very beginning, what I need to say is I have to congratulate Jaideep for your vision and Raviteja and the whole team. This iMumz app is such a nice, innovative idea. See, I am not a very computer savvy or an app savvy member, but even I could also download an app and try to look into it. So that shows that it is not difficult. And if we are able to do it, I am sure the generation next now who are actually going through the pregnancy and they are very, very tech savvy, and it's very easy for them to download and go through an app. Now, the most Jaideep and Raviteja were telling, what we need to talk is about counseling expectant mother during the how they can take the best care of themselves and the baby. See, previously, if you remember my childhood, I think delivering pregnancy is nothing new. It is not in rocket science. Generations, my great-grandmothers, their great-grandmothers have also delivered. Tomorrow, my daughter-in-law, my son is not yet married, but when he will get married, I'm sure my daughter-in-law will deliver and their grandchildren will also deliver. So there's no rocket science, but what is the difference was, in those days, we had a close-knit families. We used to have those extended families, aunties, grandmothers, mother-in-laws, mothers, neighbors, everyone around who used to guide and give advice to the pregnant woman about how to manage their pregnancy, how they can keep themselves active, how they can keep themselves sane in even periods of stress. Because pregnancy is a very stressful period. It's a stressful period because as a young mother, they're worried about themselves and they don't know what to take care of, how to go through the pregnancy. So those issues used to be covered by all those people around them. Now we have, Jaideep was telling Foxy, yes, our federation is having about 38,000 gynecologists. So we have overall maybe a lakh or so, that's 100,000 gynecologists in the country, because many of them may not be members, some will be moving away and coming in like that. So we have only about 100,000, that is 1 lakh obstetricians approximately. And we are having deliveries, how much? 28 million, that is 2.8 crores. So these 1 lakh doctors, that is 100,000 doctors are going to cater to this almost 3 crore deliveries. Is it an easy task? It is not. That is why we need more of the allied health staff. We need the nursing people, the ANMs, the DIAs, and everyone to help so that we can give our women the right care and they have an institutional delivery. But even WHO says maximum, at least minimum, you should give 8 antenatal visits. In the 8 antenatal visits with each gynecologist catering to about 50 minimum, we say OPD. Is it possible to give all the advice to every pregnant woman? It is very difficult. So that is the reason we need to look out for sources where all the queries and doubts of the pregnant woman can be addressed. So ideally, we expect that they get some counseling at home. And ideally, if we have counselors, they need not be very educated. They need not be doctors. They need not be nurses. They can be empathetic women who are there in the OPD to help these women to actually understand the process will be of great help. And those who are not able to get it, I think this is a way where they can approach. We have just seen that Supraja Reddy, I think the young mother who said she learned so much from the app. So you all can actually ask your queries on those apps, and then you can see what is it that you need. It's COVID now, the pandemic is so stressful. The yoga, meditation, I never used to understand what meditation was. Here, our Rajesh ji was there, that 15 minutes breathing classes he did for the Foxy doctors. I attended, sir. And, I found it so useful and helpful. And after I stopped, again, I'm lazy, I'm not doing that. I wish you do it forever for us doctors, whoever are going to benefit. So that shows the importance of that 10-15 minutes. So same way the pregnant women want to know about meditation. Of course, meditation I don't understand, because if I close my eyes, either I sleep or I'll think what to do next, what talk next, what is there. Oh, Jaideep has asked me next, Sarita Balerao emojis, and then I have to plan. So I'm totally confused. So I don't understand the concept of meditation. Maybe all the other younger generation are more smarter, but to take care of the baby, you need to be emotionally strong. Now in this present pandemic, we can't have aunties or mothers, mother-in-law coming and taking care of you and your babies. So the pregnant women have to be mentally and physically strong, along with the partners who are going to support them through the pregnancy. So this mental health and physical health will enable them to give birth to a lovely baby. And afterwards, we have a pediatrician. Please do get in touch with your own pediatrician, because all patients have their own obstetricians, own pediatricians. So it goes by generations, and pediatricians will help you all about vaccination, nutrition, everything. So I think these are the very important aspects of pregnancy. But don't get worried, pregnancy is nothing very, even have to be. Let me share one thing. I was very scared when I became pregnant. I was scared of the EDD. So I used to get scared. Oh, EDD is coming. Though I had finished my MBBS that time, but I was very scared of delivery. So towards 1 week before the EDD, I was telling my mommy, EDD is coming. So she's a gynecologist. She got irritated. EDD will come, what? I will keep the baby inside the stomach only, or what? So, but then that time, my mother also was that generation, too busy, not too bothered, because practice, everything, she never had time. So those queries, please get in touch with the people who can help you and have a happy pregnancy and enjoy your baby. At the same time, don't get stressed out. If you get stressed out, you can shout at your husband. Doesn't matter. We are going through all the pregnancy. Little bit they also deserve, so take it out on them. Huh? I'll do that. That will make you actually very happy once you let it out. Relax.
Thank you, Shanta. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. And we are looking at a very holistic approach towards pregnancy. And I think you have given a beautiful insight. But we have also understood as gynecologists that we need to work in tandem with our pediatricians, because our job is to deliver, but the next step in the holistic care approach has to be taken care by the pediatricians. And I have a wonderful, wonderful person whom I really admire from within my heart, because right from the day when I met him for the first time, there was a chord struck between the two of us. And we started a program called Saath Saath, which was bringing obstetricians and pediatricians together for a better child care, for a better neonatal care. So I'm going to really invite here Dr. Santosh Sons, who is the ex-president of the IAP, the Indian Academy of Pediatricians, to give us his insight on how we can help our little young angels into growing into beautiful human beings. Unmute yourself, Santoshji.
A very good morning to all the viewers and respected Jaideep. And it was so nice that we remembered our old Saath Saath program, which was so successful among the pediatricians and obstetricians. Also, all the respected dignitaries on the platform. It's a great day today that this new app of iMumz for the parenting is being launched. Sometime back, I think before this pandemic came, I went to a wedding, before the wedding, that is brides to be party. Now, usually the brides to be becomes a bride, the mother to be becomes a mother. And now once she becomes a mother, then she is so having so many anxiety what to do with the baby, because as you all have heard that parenting has changed, because the nuclear families, which were the joint families which were there, and turned into a nuclear families. Now the present lifestyle also has changed, especially with the COVID coming in. We are having both parents working from home and limited interaction with the peers. So what happens is it sort of leads to a sort of a social isolation as such. Plus, even the small babies are hearing about COVID, and they think it is something so frightful about it. So what happens is they get this anxiety because of that. What we call as a OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder, can come with that. So it is so important that parenting is very important. So mother's role in this parenting almost sort of changes the baby's entire life, what the baby is going to become as an adult. And what has happened is the burden of healthcare has increased, and there are so many challenges for the young couple as they sort of bring up this children. Because if you see the what a post-COVID a mother had to go through and what the pre-COVID mother had to go is entirely different. Now also this mother has got what I call as a sandwiched couple. That is, now as the parents, our old age parents are living for a longer time, and this mother has got a small babies. It's mothers, for the mothers, it becomes so difficult to managing two entities who are more childlike. So this is what is they're going to do. So it produces almost about 10 times anxiety to the new parents. The concerns are usually not only physical health of the patient. It depends upon whether my child is having a normal development when we compare, because we always compare with each other. The anxiety which happens. Then what happens is soon after delivery, we sort of encounter so many mothers who have got a postpartum blues. And what happens is most of mothers now, especially in the urban area, both are working. So she is worried about the career issues, what she is having, and what are the relations with the other family members. So in this view, that it is important, like each one has got a different type of parenting, because what we call as a authoritative, authoritarian, submissive, and negligent type of parenting. But the most important thing is we have to sort of make sure that advise that they should be a responsive parent, because the parent should understand and emotionally sort of get touched with what's the development of the parents. So this brings me, I'll tell a small story about, I think all of you know about this, about Thomas Alva Edison. So one day Thomas Alva Edison comes as a small kid with a small chit from the teacher, saying that teacher has given to you not to be opened and read by anybody else. So as the mother was reading it, tears started rolling. And she said, teacher has written that you are the most intelligent child in the class. Our school cannot handle such an intelligent, you need a special school like that. So she herself taught the child, and you all know the history. He was one of the greatest inventor of the last century. So as she died, and later when he went back to the old house and was looking at the cupboard, he sort of saw that paper ticked with the teacher had sent. So it had mentioned that your child is a mentally retarded child. You cannot, we cannot have you in this child because it disturbs the other child. We are expelling your child from the school. So Thomas Alva Edison wrote in his diary, Thomas Alva Edison was a mentally retarded child. My mother turned him into a inventor of the century. So I was reading an article that some time back which said 10 things every pediatrician wish the mother knows. That is because what happens is, for mother, whatever, even a small movement, sort of makes her increase her anxiety, and immediately she phones up the doctor. But for a pediatrician, it may be a trivial thing, but for the mother, it's so important for this thing. So there was a study from Hyderabad which sort of analyzed how many minutes does a pediatrician spend with the child when he examined it. They found that only it's 3 minutes. In 3 minutes, what I wonder is how much advice, especially for a young infant and a toddler, where the young mother has got so many different queries, he can sort of advise. In this view, I feel that when the mother needs the advice, this iMom parenting will definitely help. I am sure it will sort of solve many of their queries and give advice for them about the nutrition, about the development, about the parenting, about the emotional health of the patient, the children. I am sure. I thank the whole iMom team, and I wish them a very best, that it will be a great success. And we'll also definitely, I would like to tell my parents, like, please go through that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that candid and excellent speech. You have talked so much about responsive parenting. You have thrown light on the topic. So moving ahead, I request none other than Rajesh Jigesia ji to take over and talk about why responsive parenting is the need of the hour. Rajesh Jigesia ji is a very senior meditation coach, globally renowned meditation coach, and a very senior faculty of art of living. In his career of last 25 years, he taught more than 2 lakh people how to meditate, and he's also the co-founder of iMumz. So without further delay, I request Rajesh ji to throw light on responsive parenting more, and then we'll continue the program forward. Please, Rajesh ji.
Namaste.
We can hear you now, Rajesh ji.
Yes. When I was growing up, I don't remember any of the parenting styles or anything which my mom used to use. And I don't even think that there were any books available on parenting, or there was any shelves in the bookstores on parenting. But today, if you go to the bookstore, you see books available on how to parent or how to grow up a maths whiz kid, how to grow up a science whiz kid, how to grow up. There are books on bilingual kids, how to grow up. There are books on how to grow up a gluten-free kid. And there are books on how to grow up today a sanskari kid also. There are books available on all this, and I keeping all the honor for all the books that are there, but I feel that there has to be, it produces much more anxiety than it gives solace to the parent. There is no user manual which a parent can use. There is no user manual. There is no navigation which a parent can use as to how should you become, a better parent, or how can you become a better style of parenting. Now, let me give you an example. Now, your child, maybe 2 years old or 1.5 years old, is asking for your mobile phone, and is wanting the mobile phone. So what do the parents do? As Dr. Santoshji said, there are 3 styles. The first style is that the parent says, okay, here is the mobile phone and there is a timeout time. If you don't follow this timeout time, we will see that you don't get time to play. We will see that you don't get chocolate. We will see that. So there is a high condition that the child gets a mobile phone under. Now it's fine. This is a strict parenting style. But you know what happens when the child grows up? It starts feeling that life is about highly timed. It starts feeling the neglect. It listens to the parent, but there is a vacuum of unhappiness that is there in the child, even if it achieves. So today, actually, there is saying that there is a close relationship on the type of parenting style and the children's behavior. As Dr. Jaideep ji said that, the 9 months of pregnancy actually shapes the health of the health of the baby when he comes out of the womb. Similarly, the 1,000 days of parenting shapes the entire future of the child as a human being. So now the first style is that. The second style is that the parent says, okay, take the mobile phone, and you know what? I'll get you a mobile phone of your own. Let me give you a mobile phone of your own. They are providing everything to the child. Then what happens? The child grows up and never has faced any failures. So he what he does is that he doesn't take any onus of failures, and always is very attached in relationships, because he has always received and received. So he only expects more and more as a human being. The third style is that the mother or the father gives the mobile phone to the child, and as long as it's safe, they don't bother about it. They are packed in their own world of social media, of their discussions, because once a child is born, there is a lot of relationship change that happens also between the wife and the husband, between the parents. So now the child understands that it is always given, it is always neglected, there is no time that the parents spend with the child. That makes the child extremely alone and sensitive. So if you have put yourself in any of these categories, there is something called as responsive parenting which we need to adopt. And that parenting style can make your child have fun while learning, because parents are really, they care for their children. So the problem is not with children. There is something the parents are expecting or anticipating the future of the child, or the what will be the future of my child. For example, if you're teaching your child chess, so you're thinking that maybe after 10 years analytical abilities will be important for the child. Maybe you're teaching your child music, and maybe you're thinking that maybe being cool with a guitar may be important later on in the future. You're teaching your child something. Or these days people are teaching Java and React and Python to their children, thinking that this is what will be the future of my child. But we have to ask ourselves this question, that is it that we are compromising on the present of the the tender childlike present that is there for the children, for their good future? We have to ask as parents this question. To all of the parents have to ask. So there is responsive parenting which iMumz created together, in which there is happiness while learning, and also there is ability that you learn all these skills but be happy while learning this. So making sure that parenting is joyful, making sure that the child learns, making sure that there is a happy, because a happy parent will also produce a happy child. It is invariably like that. So what did we do? Ravi Teja and me actually traveled to all the different villages, and we found that where are the best toys that are made. So with the help of those toys, we actually created a full toy set which is called a plug and play, almost like a Lego toy set, which is for the parents we created. And you can plug and play, you can plug into the car, you can plug into the mother, and there's such a nice toy set which is of the latest ability that we created. Then we have created baby development activities, the responsive parenting style on those toys. So you can learn it. You can learn motor skills for the children, you can learn movement, you can learn cognitive skills for the children, you can learn all these abilities with those 200 activities which we have created. Then we have the diet, we have meditation for the mom and dads, we have yoga for moms to handle the postpartum stress, if any. We have, and we also have 1 minute classes on responsive parenting. Only in 1 minute you're already prepared of what your child is going to face during this tender age, whether it is diaper change, whether it is tantrums how to handle, whether it is indiscipline that he's going to produce, whether it is going to be some difference in their body things. All those have been taken care for 2 years. We have created this responsive parenting, and with the help of doctors like Santosh, with the help of doctors like Shanta ji, with the help of Jaideep ji, who has created a medical science around the holistic approach. We have shook hands in all this. And, I will not fall short of saying that many of the Shivani Didi's lectures also have been taken some snippets for that, for responsive parenting from YouTube. She has immense wisdom, immense knowledge, which she has collaborated into parenting styles in different YouTube channels of hers. So today I think it's a very interesting day and very nice day, because this whole science comes to you at your in a box for you to play and make sure that your child has a great future, but with happiness. So
Thank you.
I'll invite Ravi to unbox and Shivani ji to also inaugurate the entire responsive parenting.
Thank you, Rajesh ji. I think it was just wonderful experience, working on this. What I'm thinking, when I was bringing up my children, I was all the time thinking, oh, I am a first-time mother. I don't know how to bring up children. Who's going to tell me whether I'm doing something is right or wrong? Today, I think we have something with us, probably with the wisdom of so many cumulative people who are sitting on the sidelines and watching parents, what mistakes they are doing, and then trying to tell them, okay, this is the right way. So here we are, Ravi, we are all ready for the launch of our.
Thank you so much, madam. Shivani ji, like I told 1.5 years ago, graced the presence of iMumz app launch. And today it's with the blessings of Sister Shivani ji, it's doing very wonderfully. And today we are very, very happy that she is gracing the occasion again to launch the iMumz app for parenting. So it's time which we are all eagerly waiting for the launch. So I welcome Sister Shivani ji, who needs no introduction. She impacted millions of lives with her commentaries on life and spirituality. She is a Nari Shakti recipient award and a Goodwill Ambassador of India International Psychiatric Association. So we fondly call her Shivani Didi with love. So Shivani Didi, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for gracing this occasion again. So we request you to launch the app.
I think all of us together will create one thought, that this app will reach every parent, not just in India, but all over the world. It's going to reach every parent all over the world and make parenting very natural for them. So it'll be like a friend, like we heard today that we had mothers, mothers-in-laws, aunties, uncles, everybody. So let's say this app is doing the role of all of them together, along with having our doctors and psychiatrists there. So let's just take 1 minute of silence, create a very powerful thought, God's powers and blessings in every word and vibration of this app, as it's going to reach every parent on the planet, and handhold that parent like a family member, like a friend, a guide, and of course, even the doctors there definitely. And create a very emotional, resilient, and of course, physically healthy, powerful generation, which is needed now to create a paradigm shift in the world. So the app will be that powerful tool to create that new generation who will bring in the new world. Thank you.
Thank you, Didi. Thank you so much. I have no words but to thank you every day for bringing this change not only in our lives but in the lives of millions of people who really need to understand the holistic approach towards life, because we were losing direction, and in that losing direction our children were also losing it. So with your help and with the help of all our teams who have understood your thoughts and plus the challenges which we faced every day, I'm so thankful to each and everyone that we've been able to bring in this app and now another app following for the future generations. And I'm sure tomorrow we probably will feel very satisfied on our purpose of life on this earth. And I would really thank you from the core of my heart for, being the guiding force, being the mentoring force, being the inspiring person, because we doctors were so medicalized that, spirituality and holistic approach was actually losing its value in a lot of practices. And that is something which has been brought back by you in the organizations. And please stay there with us. Thank you so much for being there.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for blessing, Devi. So with your blessings, I would also like to display the Bazoo Eco Play Kit, which is an integral program of the responsive parenting program which we have launched. So I'm just wish to show some toys for you, which are completely organic, which are handmade by local artisans. All the toys are designed for the development of the baby's motor skills, social, emotional, behavioral skills. So they're all animal themed. There are 16 pieces plug and play toy set. Nowadays, parents are using very harsh, toys with very harsh chemicals. So these are all natural vegetable colors, and we are also supporting local artisans with these toy sets. This is and we have more than 300 activities inside the app with which parents can actually play with the toys. It's not the number of toys, but how are you differently playing with limited set of toys to improve your child skills is what the app's program is all about. And of course, many more things which Rajeshji talked about. This we are calling it as Cubby, cute little Cubby line. Even the lines are very cute inside the toy set. So thank you so much, Shivani ji, for always being with us and inspiring and motivating us.
Thank you so much. Om Shanti. When Adbhut Matritva was started, intention was so pure. Dr. Jaideep, Dr. Narendra Malhotra. And then, of course, when one starts, everybody else joined. And so very soon, all the doctors of Foxy, it was like a huge family that was ready to bring about this change. And if we look at the current scenario today and what we as a country are going through, sometimes reflect back and see what a right time it was to start something like this. We didn't know that this is what's going to happen in the next couple of years, because today, when expecting couples are mostly at home, they're doing online consults. Of course, physically everything is taken care of, but that fear of COVID is so high. And of course, some of them are also testing positive, mothers are so it's a very different time. At this time, to have a friend like this in hand, which can give the guided meditation commentaries, can do everything for you, and can answer your questions. So it was all happening at the right time for something that was to come. So when we surrender to the supreme power and we say, you use us, then he knows what he has to use us for, something that's going to happen 2 years later, which we did not know that all this is going to come. So it was so needed to work on the emotional resilience of the parents, the emotional resilience of the mother, to have emotionally strong children. Otherwise, at this time, it's not very easy. It's not very easy. We can understand what expecting mothers and parents would be going through, because even people normal are going through so much. You see, normal people are going through so much who don't even have COVID, no COVID in the family, just locked, safe and secure, and yet experiencing fear and anxiety. And all of us have one thought: my children should be safe. My children should be safe. But how much that thought would be predominant for a mother who's carrying the baby? And if that mother comes to know she's COVID positive, really it requires tremendous power to be able to cross that time then with that stability. So this is God's gift to everybody. Really, we can say that we were all a part of creating it, but what today, if you go back and see, like, whoever thought of this? So it was God getting it created, and all of you were the angels who came together when the intentions are pure and everybody is in harmony. then miracle is the only thing that gets created. And when each one will use this app, they will feel the energy that when they use it and they will benefit from it, there's only one word that will come in their mind, and they will say, this is God's gift to me. They will feel it. ये भगवान का ही गिफ्ट है मुझे जो मिला है. So they will feel that it is God's gift for them because God has used you as your angels to create them. So everybody else is just an instrument, very, very powerful instruments, each one of you. But yet, now the time reveals that it was happening with a bigger vision that's happening. And shifting to the next step forward, that okay, the parents have taken care of themselves during those 9 months, because when you have a time oriented thing, okay, please do all these things for 9 months, it's very easy because it's a very time oriented thing. You know that you have to do it for 9 months, and also in those 9 months you're ready to do anything. So whatever the doctor shares with you, meditate, do yoga, do pranayam, eat this, don't eat this, it's easy to do. But then parenting doesn't end in 9 months. And also, all those parents who didn't do it during those 9 months, they sometimes have a thought, but I did not know all this in the 9 months, so I did not do it in those 9 months. In fact, I was getting angry, I was getting irritated, I was even getting scared. So, is this going to have an impact on my child? So, what a perfect timing to have the next step forward, that it is not just about those 9 months, but it's about parenting. Parenting. So, parenting, if we look at it in a very spiritual way, every relationship between two people is a soul to soul connection. Anything, a husband and a wife, a parent and a child, a friend, a sibling, it's a relationship between a soul and another soul. All the other things are the labels of the relationship, which are important, but otherwise it's a soul and a soul connection. So what is a relationship? Is the exchange of thoughts and feelings and vibrations between those two souls. But like we have all experienced, and we see it in families also, this soul to soul connection of a parent and a child, this has the deepest impact, which means the mind of the child has a very deep impact on the parent, and the mind of the parent has a very deep impact on the child, both ways. So even as the child is growing up, even if the child is in another city, in another country, if the child is troubled, the parent comes to know without the child having called up, without the child having messaged, and the mother will message and ask, are you okay? Have you eaten today? And the child was like, I haven't told her. How did she come to know that I have not eaten? So that is that powerful connect. That is that relationship where it's not just the mind of the parent influencing the child, it's also the mind of the child influencing the parent. It's a very strong connect. And why did this strong connect happen? Also because, yes, the child was created in the womb of the mother. So that strong connection between a soul and another soul, because for those 9 months, there were two souls in that body of the mother, hers and the baby. So that soul to soul connection starts happening there. And of course, the father is so much through with the wife during these 9 months. It's a very, very powerful connect. It's a very different relationship. It's not just a relationship of attachment. We think, oh, it's a very strong attachment. It's not just attachment, it is influence. There's a very strong influence of one on the other. And when there is a very strong influence of one soul on the other, magic can happen, miracles can get created. But then we just need to take care that that influence is always a powerful, pure influence. It should be a very pure, powerful influence during these COVID times, and especially because children haven't stepped out for almost a year, stepped out in the sense at least have not gone to school for more than a year. So a lot of parents are, of course, concerned about everything else, but they're very concerned about their children. And we have a lot of parents saying, will my child be okay? 1.5 years not gone to school, and maybe don't even know next few months when they will go to school. So is this going to impact my child? Is this going to affect my child not having gone to school for 2 years? And especially children who were going to start school last year. So kindergarten and nursery, they were going to start school last year, and they are doing all that on computer screens. So parents get a little stressed, a little agitated about it. So we need to remember that children have very, very high power to adapt and to adjust. They mold very easily. Our power to mold, to adapt, to adjust is the highest when we are the youngest. So the adaptability power starts reducing as we grow older. Why does it start reducing? Because layers and layers of ego get developed on the soul. Layers and layers of ego. No, I am so and so, I am so and so, I am so and so. And when all that starts happening, then we want the world to be our way. We want everything to be our way. And when things are not our way, we feel it's fine to react. But for a child, look at a baby in the arms. Just look at a baby in the arms. Why is a baby in the arms so attractive towards everybody? Even when we are walking in the market and when people look at a baby, they don't know the child, but they get very pulled towards that child. They get very attracted towards the child and they will start going and smiling and waving out to that child. They don't know that child. We're waving out to children who are in the other cars. Why do we do all this? What is there about that child which is so attractive? Because a child is not critical or judgmental. They don't know you, they're not thinking about you, they have nothing in their mind about you. And so there is a purity, an aura of purity in a child. And this purity is very attractive for everybody else. But now we need to visualize purity. It's like this white color, white color. Now, if this dress I choose to wear is white color, it also means my responsibility increases in taking care of this. If I was wearing a darker color, I don't need to take care too much of my dress. But because I'm wearing white, I need to take a lot of care. Lot of care. One little thing also drops, there's a stain. If I sit on a chair which had a little dust, there is a stain. So choosing to wear white also means I have to be very careful during the day. So that it's as white in the morning, it has to be the same white in the night by the end of the day. Similarly, the purity of a child. Just look at it like white. It's the purity of a child, the humility, no criticism, no judgmental. A child does not know stress. A child does not know fear. You know how the children go walking up to the gas? They don't know. They walk up to the terrace railing. They don't know that they can fall down from there. So they know nothing. They know nothing. So they don't know fear. They don't know anger. They don't know stress. They don't know competition, this. They don't know comparison. They never know this, that they have to compare themselves with other children. They don't know this. Now, if they were not taught this, they would never know it. They would never know it. And most important, if they were taught the opposite of it, then they're going to grow up into very different individuals. Very, very different individuals. So, the present time, first, we need to stop thinking that we are going through times which are not good for the children, whether the children in the womb or little children around us. This thought and this belief system that these are not the right times for these children or these will have a wrong impact on the children is not a correct thought. It's not a correct thought. The times that we are going through, yes, a little risky in terms of physical health, but that everybody's learned how to protect themselves. But on an emotional level, these are times of high resilience. When the times are tough, it brings out amazing powers in people, which we would not emerge if everything was fine. When we're living in our comfort zones, everything is perfect, especially for children also. Children lead a very pampered life. Like we just heard from Rajesh ji, never have to listen to a no. They always get everything that they want because the parent has everything. So the parent has this very pure intention that I want to give my child everything that I did not get. So the parent will keep giving and giving and giving everything because the parent has surplus. Second thing is because both the parents are working, they feel sometimes very subconscious guilt that they're not being fair to the child because they always feel I don't have enough time for my child. This is there like a background music in the minds of the mother, especially. I'm not there for my child. My child has fever today. I'm not there for my child. My child needs me. I'm not there. You know, this is like a background thing that keeps going on in the mind. I'm not there for my child. I'm not there for my child. And so when we are with them, we don't say no to them for anything. Because now ek to other time we are not with them. Then I know that if I'm there only with them for 2-3 hours, there also if I'm becoming a strict parent, not saying yes to this, not, so it's not good. So that again makes them go overboard and they say yes to everything. What will this do? This will create an individual who is so used to getting everything their way, which is so beautiful. Early morning, they wake up the child and they ask the child, what would you like to wear today? I don't remember my mother asking me, what would you like to wear today? I don't remember when I decided what I was going to wear. We were just given the clothes and said, pehno ye. That's it. I don't remember my mother asking me, what would you like to eat today? All this has happened like maybe I don't know which age it started happening that we started saying we wanted to eat this. Making a choice is different, but asking the child every day, what would you like to eat today? What? Ocha. Once it's all prepared and it's come there on the dining table, that person is a child. So the child will say, no, now I don't feel like eating this. Acha, now you don't feel like eating this? Chalo, remove this. Now we will get something else. So we thought, and when I talk to parents, like, what are you doing exactly? So they say, we are creating children who can have choices. We want our child to make choices. We want our child to make decisions. And you know what they will say? We did not get the power to make decisions. We had to do everything that our parents said to us. I want my child to decide everything that they want in life. So I want my child to develop choice making and decision making. And this they are starting at the age of 2 and 3. So choice making, decision making. Intention is pure. But then one thing is missing. The child is getting used to getting everything their way. So if I say this, it is there in front of me. If I say that, this is there in front of me. And a parent, to a large extent, for 20 years can do this for a child. Okay, within your capacity, you're able to give everything to your child, everything that money can buy. Because we both are working, we're able to buy everything that money can buy. And we give everything to the child. We do everything the child wants. We let the child go to every holiday, every hobby class, international holidays, everything. The child has to name it and the child gets it. Now, there's only one thing which the child doesn't get, and that is listening to a no. The child doesn't get to listen to a no. But the parent says, why should I say a no when I have it? That's also right. But let's understand. If for 20 years I keep getting life to be my way. Now, today COVID is not our way, right? It's a situation which is not our way. To be able to remain strong in this situation, it requires resilience here. It requires resilience here, which many of us are experiencing, that we don't have such high resilience. We could manage last year. Last year was still manageable, even though it did affect some minds. This year is getting very, very tough. Very, very tough. Last 2 years is very difficult. 2 months is very difficult. And people have started experiencing anxiety disorders and, of course, all the other things. Now, why is this happening? Situation not my way. Not my way, and situation completely not my way. Now, even as adults, we have started believing that situations and people should be my way, then I am happy. Then I am happy. So, this is called emotional dependence. Emotional dependence, where I am happy when situation is perfect and people are my way. And if situation is not my way, stress is normal. And if people are not my way, then anger, irritation, hurt is normal. We believe that. It's not the truth, but we believe that. And so this is making us emotionally weaker. Even though we are a generation who grew up listening to a lot of no's, a lot of no's. Even today, I tell my mother, like, for what were you saying the no at that time? I'm sure you had all that. Why were you saying a no? You know, I need to think, what's the mindset? Why were you saying a no? And that time, how much would things cost? 5 rupees for what I wanted to buy from the canteen, 7 rupees for what I could get from my school canteen. In that also, there was so much no, not like this, not like this, not like this. I said, why was there so much no in all these things? But today we understand the meaning of that. But in spite of getting all those no's in our childhood, we are today not emotionally independent. We are not emotionally strong. We react to people. We react to situations because we want them to be our way. This is our generation, which has grown up with a lot of no's and which has grown up with a little difficult times where we didn't have everything. We all got everything on the journey as we were growing up. So as children, we started with the first cycle, then the first scooter in the house, then the first car, then the first TV, then the first phone. We are that generation. Can we even for a minute visualize a generation which is born with all these things? There's nothing more left to buy in the house only, because now they don't have one, they have multiple of everything. So they are born in a house with 2 TVs, 2 cars, 2 phones in every pocket, everything. Now, so one is not getting to listen to a no, growing up with parents who feel that they are guilty and so they will give more than the child needs. And second, growing up with parents and teachers who are emotionally dependent and who believe that stress, anxiety, jealousy, ego, competition, this is normal. So we are a generation who had lot of no's and who were growing up with grandparents and parents who were more emotionally independent. And now we are growing up, the children today are growing up with parents and teachers who believe that all this stress, anxiety is normal. They call it normal. Just one day write out all these things, that what is the environment of my child. I am reacting to situations, my spouse is reacting to situations, third, we are feeling guilty about our parenting, and fourth, we are giving them everything before they even ask for it. Is this going to create an emotionally resilient individual? Emotionally resilient individual. It can create a very well-informed individual. Your child knows everything. What is happening on Mars also the children know today. The children tell their teachers more because the teacher doesn't know some of the things because the children are doing everything online. So they think they're very intelligent, which is true. They are very intelligent. They are very well informed. They're talking about all this coding at the age of 6 and 8. We were talking about it in engineering college. So the gap is like huge. But the present time and every situation in our life teaches us intelligence alone cannot solve a crisis. Intelligence alone cannot solve situations. Since the last year, every organization with whom I'm doing a webinar, they are saying now we want people who are emotionally strong. Now we want high EQ people because they realized how things started crumbling when the crisis has come. Now, so when the person comes to them after crossing their engineering college or their finance colleges, marketing, management, everything, and they come into the organization, how is the organization going to create the emotional quotient of this individual? Or if they are a doctor, or if they're a nurse, or they're healthcare professionals, they were intelligent, so they got all the first numbers, ranks, 90, 900, everything, but today they are there in a crisis. So can their marks and their training alone can face this crisis? No. That can do the treatment. That can do the treatment. But how are they going to protect their minds from this crisis and be that in the crisis who will be in the guiding light for everybody else? So for that, that child doesn't need to be only intelligent. That child needs to be emotionally strong. Emotionally resilient individuals are needed. So in the coming times, it always was the truth, but for the last couple of decades, we shifted away from the truth and we said, no, IQ is the most important thing. IQ is the most important. If we go 2 generations back, so which means, let's say to my grandparents' generation, what we were doing was not that important. Who we were as people was more important. They're two different things, the being and the doing. So, what do you do in life was one part of life. But who you are as a person, what's your nature, what is your sanskars, what are you contributing to society, that was priority. Nowadays, who you are here, nobody interested. What's your sanskars? Nobody's interested. Everybody's like, what are you doing in life? So what have you achieved? How much have you bought? What is your name, role, position, status? That's all. That is what society is looking for, and that is what is being called as success. So that is labeled as a successful person. Doesn't matter if you're all messed up over here. Doesn't matter if you're having problem with relationships at home. Doesn't matter if your colleagues are not comfortable while working with you. Doesn't even matter if you're having unethical practices at work. Doesn't matter. Successful. What was their last year's financial index? That. So when society starts labeling success only to achievements, then that's what parents start working on in their children, because everybody wants a successful child. So, but that's not going to hold true for a very long time. So very important for the parents now who are carrying the child in the womb, and of course those who are bringing up their children. Two aspects to every individual: the being and the doing. The being, the human being, and the doing. Doing is important, but the being is more important than the doing. Because at the end of the day, what you want for your child? You want happiness. You want the child to be respectful. You want the child to have beautiful relationships. You want the child to have a healthy body. So that will not happen only by the doing. That will happen with the powerful being, the sanskars, the nature, the personality, the emotional resilience that we have to create of the child. Otherwise, now we are going through times, and nothing to do with COVID, even before COVID, children in school are talking about depression. Children in school are talking about anxiety. Children in school are talking about taking medication before an exam. We can't call this as success. This is not called success. That in school we are talking all these things. And it's not history. 30 years back in school, we didn't know these words. We didn't know depression happens to people and all. We didn't know anything of this in school that time. We didn't even use the word stress. So we are not talking history. We are talking our era, our generation. So taking the U-turn is very easy now. You know, it's like we've not gone way ahead. We've just gone like this, and we can take a U-turn to how to bring up our children. Very, very important. So success means mind needs to be strong. First, mind needs to be strong. Second, health, body needs to be strong. Third, relationships need to be very beautiful. And fourth, they're good at what they're doing. So those are the four pillars. Even WHO calls these four pillars as the pillars of health, well-being: emotional health, mental health, physical health, social health, professional health. But professional health comes last, on the list. It's emotional, mental health, physical health, social health means relationships, and then professional health. Priority is very clear. Priority is very clear. If we groom the child only on professional means the doing. And so like Rajesh ji said, they go for these classes. Little ones are being made to do everything as if they have to finish everything of their life right now at this age. They should know everything. Everything. So their schedule is sometimes more packed than the schedule of the parent also. It's more packed. It's like this to this time, karate class this to this time, football class this to this time, chess this, like this. If a child is going to grow up believing I am busy, I don't have time, from where is the emotional resilience going to develop? But we thought we have to teach the child everything of the doing. The child has an entire lifetime to learn all the doing. But the being can be created right now very strong, very strong. So parenting means focus on the being and then take care of the doing. The being is first. And how do we take care of the being? For that, we have to first take care of this being, ourself. Ourself. Even now, in the current COVID times, if you want your children to come out of this crisis only stronger, then only you have to take care how you are facing this crisis right now. First and foremost, stop creating these thoughts: not good for my child, this is not good for my child, this is not good for my child, laptop is not good for my child. This time is giving the children of today the time and the chance to build up their inner resilience. For the last 100 years, we have not seen any epidemic like this. These are children who are facing a crisis. These are children who are having to adapt and adjust and change their lifestyle completely. They are not able to step out of the house. They are not able to meet friends. They are not able to play. They are not able to go to school. But they are changing how they are doing things. This is going to develop high resilience in these children. So don't think something wrong is happening with your child. Please understand something amazing is happening with your child. Their power to adjust and face situations is going to increase to here just in this 1 year. That's why it's a very powerful time for them, provided we don't panic in the house. That we have to take care, that we are not panicking and creating the anxiety. The child is absorbing your vibration, whether the child is in the womb or the child is watching you. They are absorbing the vibration of how you are facing the present time. If you are calm and stable, you're protecting yourself, taking care of the children, but you're not panicking about, even a simple thing like vocabulary. We tell the child, wear the mask. Then we tell the child, wash your hands. Very important. We have to tell them every time, otherwise they'll miss it. But sometimes what we say is, wear the mask, nahi to COVID ho jayega. Wash your hand, nahi to COVID ho jayega. But that part is not needed. The second part of the line is not needed. So we have to be very careful, because what we are saying is getting programmed on the child. We're not going to keep telling the child, COVID ho jayega, COVID ho jayega, COVID. Then the child is going to start creating fear. Mujhe COVID ho jayega, mujhe COVID ho jayega, mujhe COVID ho jayega. Can't. So we have to know every thought, every word that we are saying, the child is absorbing, accepting it completely. Again, the power of a parent on a child is that in the younger years, the child absorbs completely what the parent says and makes it their reality, believes it to be the complete truth. They never think their parent can say anything wrong. Never. So if the parent has said it, means that's it. That is the truth. So if the parent says to them, you're very slow, you never finish your work on time. I meet people at the age of 30, 40 who still believe that about themselves. And all their friends, all their colleagues are telling them, Hare Baba, it's okay. We all work at this same speed. It's fine. No, I never finish my work on time. Never finish my work. Like, why are you carrying this programming? I never finish my work on time. And then it takes long time to talk, bring out, and very soon we realize, okay, this was said by a parent whose intention was very good, that they wanted to motivate the child, but the language was not right. And the child did not understand the intention. The child understood the language, accepted it, used that label, and put that label on themselves and made it their reality. So, parenting is actually self development. You take care of yourself, parenting is automatically happening on the same lines. Don't have to do anything. Don't make parenting like a stressful thing. Parenting only means personal responsibility. How do I think? How do I speak? How do I behave? How do I respond to every situation? How do I? Responsive parenting doesn't mean I'm responsible for my child. I'm first responsible for how I respond. The word responsibility. I have so many responsibilities. What is the meaning of the word responsibility? Break it up. It's response ability. Responsibility, responsibility, the ability to respond in every scene. That's my responsibility. The ability to respond in every scene. And when I take care of that ability, I'm going to radiate that power to everyone around me, and most important, to the children. So if you remain calm and stable, have faith that these are amazing times as far as your child's inner development is concerned. They have done so much in this 1 year, which they may have never done otherwise in their life. They would have never got the opportunity. Were your children ever coming in the kitchen and cooking for you? Most children were not. Were they going and gardening and watering the plants? No, they were not. They are doing so many things. Did they think of going down and giving the bhaiya at the gate a cup of tea and khana? No, they were not. They were not thinking only of all these things. How much of the sanskar of caring, sharing, seva, cooperation, adapting, adjusting. Now imagine, suppose in some family, someone has COVID, the person is isolated for 15 days. It could be the parent of the child. The child is suddenly going to grow up. The child is suddenly going to grow up because the parent is not there to take care of the child. So many things are happening right now. It's only our perspective. So never say from today onwards that this is not a good time, this is damaging for my child. This is a blessing for my child. This is a blessing. Even for the children in the womb. Yes, physically you have to take care completely, but emotionally, very different times. and very different times, even in terms of emotional resilience. So only take care that you are making the sanskar of the child your priority, the sanskar of the child, and teach them what is normal. The society is not taught us the right normal. Society is saying stress, anger, fear, anxiety is normal. Society is saying comparison is normal. Society is saying life is a competition. Every emotion is wrong. Every emotion, we would call all these emotions as an emotional illness, because it creates turbulence here and it creates turbulence even in the body. It even affects our relationships. None of these emotions can be called normal. These are emotional illnesses, and if a child knows that these are not normal, half the time they will never create it. They will never create it. Now we'll teach them what is normal. So instead of stress normal, we say calm and stability is normal. So instead of telling the child, tomorrow is your exam, are you stressed? Say, no. Tomorrow is your exam. I'm sure you're very calm and stable. Programming. So the child is getting programmed, exam is equal to calm and stability. This, for 10 years, we say stress is normal. And when the child reaches the board exams, we tell them don't get stressed. How is this going to happen? How will the child be able to do this? No, now you don't get stressed, otherwise your marks will get affected. First 10 years, we were looking at the child sitting carelessly. You're not tensed? Tomorrow is your exam. The child says, no, I'm not tensed. How can you not be tensed? So our way to inspire them to study and motivate was get tensed, get tensed. And the day they come into the 10th standard, first day only, all their friends, relatives, oh ho, this is your board, your exam. Oh, ab to bahut tension hogi ghar mein. This is to board exam. Everybody gives blessings of stress and stress and stress. And then on the day of the exam, the child says, Mujhe kuch yaad nahi aa raha hai. I'm not remembering anything. Then the parents are panicking. So exam is equal to calm and stability. This should be taught right from KG. The first interview for a school admission, calm and stability is normal. So what is normal is very important. So stress nahi, calm and stability is normal. Anger, this is not normal. Understanding, people are going to be different, they're going to do things differently, we will not get every time what we want. Understanding is normal. Accepting people is normal. Complaining is normal? No. Gratitude is normal. Gratitude for everything. Gratitude for people, gratitude to God, gratitude to your body. If you're something pains, love that part of your body. Gratitude. So gratitude is normal. Children are going to grow up with these normal emotions then. When the child comes from school and the parent will ask, so how was your exam today? He said, yeah, it was okay. I said, what about the rest of your friends? How was their exam? Now, what relevance it has? How were the rest of my friends? How was their exam? No relevance at all into my life. But right from there, I am taught that my performance is not about my performance. My performance is in reference to other people's performance. Now, that I was taught when I was 6, 7 years old. Today, I'm 60 years old, but I'm still living my life like that. My life is not about my life, it is in reference to other people's life. So, what have the other people achieved? Only then I'm either success or failure. It's nothing about me. We taught them there. Should never ask a child, how much did other people get? What did they do? How come you did lesser to them? Oh, acha, very good, you got more than them. My life is not in comparison to other people's life. Comparison is not normal. Self respect is normal. Inspiration, yes, but not comparison. Two things are completely different. Self respect is normal. How much did you get? How hard had you studied? Have you got how much you have got? How do we enhance this better? So we're always moving in reference to ourself. Every child is going to be different. Everyone's IQ is going to be different. How can we compare children? How can we can't even compare siblings, leave alone comparing with them with the children of the class. They are soul on a journey. They've come with different sanskars, different capacities. Never ever compare a child, and actually never ever compare anyone. And most important, never compare yourself with anyone. Otherwise, you'll never have that self respect that my life is in reference to my life. I have to do better than myself, even if a child is coming first always. Can we be only happy that they're coming first? No. We should be teaching them, are you doing the best of your capacity? Your capacity. Maybe their capacity is more, but maybe they're not using it only because they're coming first, because they were taught, okay, first in class, that's it, done. What's your capacity? So comparison is not normal. Self-respect is normal. Life is a competition is the biggest mistake we teach children. Competition hai, competition hai, competition hai, competition hai. Competition can never allow an individual to be happy in life. They're always in a race, and everyone around them are their competitors. So people are sitting in one organization with two different cabins, but they are, everyone around them is a threat to them because they're all competitors. So we are in competition always. And then the sanskar becomes competition between a husband and a wife. Later on, when they again working together, competition between a parent and a child. Competition is not normal. Sharing, caring, cooperation is normal. Whatever you know, teach all your friends. Whatever you have, share it with everybody. Normal, which will build emotional resilience. Focusing on the being, focusing on the being. Doing is automatically taken care of. Building high EQ. This is role of parenting. IQ, yes, but EQ. EQ. We don't want children getting troubled, anxious, relationships. All these issues will not allow them to be happy. It will not allow them to be successful. So we need to focus on the EQ of the child. And for that, we need to create an environment in the house that first thing in the morning, we all start with meditation and yoga. Like we were listening today, you don't want your child to use technology too much. You don't want the child to use the phone. Yes, one way is to be strict with them. The other way is to be strict with yourself. Simple. If you're not going to use it too much, automatically it's going to be the same with them. If you're not going to watch television while having your meals, it will become a culture in the house. The baby is born in that house. They will grow up only becoming what you teach them in the house. If you pick up your plate and you sit in front of the TV, or if you are eating and then you're taking every phone call that's coming and addressing that, then why will the child not do it? Even if you're strict with them for the first 10 years, how long can you be strict and have a timing with them? Nothing. After that, what will happen? After that, what will happen? So it's all about us. We have to be strict with ourselves that no, meal time, no technology. Dinner table time, only happy conversations. Before we begin eating, we do our little 10-second prayer. You see, everything that we were taught during our own parenting, that. A lot of parents say today, I want to give my children everything that I did not get. Very good intention. But we also want to give them everything we got. Everything we got from our grandparents, from our parents, from our elders. Those little things, what to do when we wake up, what to do before we go to sleep, how do we have our meals, how do we behave with each other. Those are the maryadas of life. The maryada of life, the self-discipline. That's very important. So we teach those little kids also. Even when they are 2 years old, you teach a 2-year-old child that when we start eating, we first pause for a few seconds. Teach right from there. And of course, you're doing it when the child is in your womb, so the child is learning. But when the child starts eating, and even when you're feeding the child, pause for 5 seconds with the child. And you sit together, we first pray for 5 seconds, and then we start eating. Now, whether you are around the child, not there, or your child is in another country, in university, the child will never ever forget to do that. It is a personality now of the child. It has become the sanskar of the child. Your parenting cannot be done like when I'm in front of you, you do it. When I'm not there, then we don't know what the child is doing. So it has to be from that age. So we make them learn that energize your food, say your little prayer, gratitude for the food. We give them healthy sattvic food. And this should be done right from the time the child is in the womb of the mother. If we don't do all this junk food eating, we don't do all this watching the phone while eating, children will grow up with very healthy habits. Very healthy habits. And that's why those first 1,000 days, because most of the parenting of a lifetime happens in those first 1,000 days. Parenting or the rest of the life, otherwise a lot of effort, and first 1,000 days easy completely. They are like a sponge, just keep putting it and they are absorbing it like that. So everything we want them to do, So we start meditation in the morning, then we do yoga in the morning, then we have sattvic food, then we pray and meditate before we eat, then just before we go to sleep, we are not with technology. That's not how we sleep. We write our little letter to God, or we write our little diary before we go to sleep. Child will also do. Start with a 3-year-old child that just before going to sleep, we first sit like this. We will sit for 2 minutes, thank God, and then we will start. Everything with little kids. And then it's a natural part. Then no struggle while they're growing up to tell them to do it. Natural part. And most important thing, teach your children simplicity. Simplicity. And that will only come with simplicity in ourselves. But if we think we are going to buy branded clothes for them and branded toys for them, and that's why those toys were so beautiful, because they're not just simplicity in toys, but also because they are environmental friendly. So we are teaching children at a very young age that we have to protect the environment. We have to protect this planet. So simplicity. How were we grown up? We were grown up with a few set of clothes, like 5 dress hote honge. I think I don't even remember how many, might be 5 clothes. That's all that you need. You just wash them and they come back to you ironed and nice. The whole cupboard is full, and the whole cupboard is full with so many shoes, and now choose which color shoes, which. Why are we doing this to them? It will become very difficult for them. And are they creating the right sanskars of how they're going to protect the resources of the planet? This generation, which means we're talking of 10, 20 years from today, the crisis next is also about the environmental crisis. So it's good to teach them from now. Simplicity in life, simplicity in the resources. Like, it was so beautiful, that toy kit. And while you were showing it, Ravi, and I was just thinking, okay, I want to see how these parents are going to react to this toy kit. And are they going to think, yeah, it's very beautiful? Or are they going to, what is this? This is old-fashioned toys. Look at the toys that we have nowadays in the market. So, this whole thing, it's very sweet, very simple, very environmental friendly, and very intelligent, because it's made to, develop the child, not just to play. Because children should never play with anything that's violent. All these games which have violence, all these those video games which have violence, all these cartoons which have violence, that's from where all the streaks of violence and fear and bullying and everything starts getting created. So that's very simple, actually, simple things. So even the toys which they use, even the clothes they wear, simplicity, so that their happiness doesn't keep getting dependent on objects. It's an addiction. What we are seeing today with children, it's an addiction. Now what more? Now what more should I buy? Now what more should I do? Now where should I go next for a holiday? Because this is becoming dependent on the outer world. So they need something more and more and more. Now imagine if a child had only this one box of toy, and they have to do everything with this one box only. They're not going to get anything else now for another 2 years, only this one box. This will teach them how to live life. It will teach them how to live life, that you have these many resources and you can live your life like that, because life needs only this much resources. The rest we are trying to do only to stimulate the mind. Only stimulate the mind. We need only dal sabji roti to eat. The rest 10 things that we want to buy and go to fancy restaurants and all, we're doing that only to satisfy the mind, not the body. So simplistic living is going to be a big asset for these children, and they will understand the responsibility that they have, and they will create that as their personality as they are growing up. So I think parenting is very simple, very natural. It's all only about taking care of yourself, and children are taken care of automatically. Thank you so much, Dr. Jaydeep. Thank you so much, Rajeshji. Thank you so much, Raviji. Thank you so much, Dr. Santosh. Thank you, Sri. Om Shanti.
Thank you, Didi. That was just awesome insight. In fact, even after being a grandmother, I've learned so much today, and all the mistakes which I did, and I hope I don't do them again. I'm sure this is going to really give a great insight to all our parents. I think Dr. Alpesh was there, but Ravi, is he there? He was there, in fact.
No, he's not there currently.
Yeah, because I was trying to juggle a little time for him. Dr. Alpesh Gandhi is the president of Foxy. He was busy in another conference, so he was trying to, juggle out some time for us. but I guess he is not going to be there. So I would really thank each and every one of who are tuned in, and I feel that today we have given enough insights for the beginners to use the app and be able to benefit from its deliberations, and not only for the mothers but also for the parents to be, and also for the people who, even grandparents like me. I mean, I'm going to learn so much from this. And along with this, Didi, I would really like you to launch our magazine, because this is our next step, which is going to be every 2 months, which will also add on to reaching out. So a lot of people who can't reach out, or are not able to see our programs regularly. There are many people who may not be on our app, but would definitely benefit from our magazine. This is a digital e-magazine which is there on the similar aspects as our app. It deals with all the ingredients which are there, right from preconception to pregnancy, to delivery, getting ready for delivery, the postpartum, and then parenting. And this is just the first issue, an initial one. I hope it's going to be a happy, light reading. I would really request you to release our first issue, Ravi, if we are ready with the first issue, which has contributions from not only some of the key people, but also a lot of contributions from many contributors, parents who would like to have some information. So it is based on a lot of questions which were asked to us. So with due respect and with all humility, you have blessed every event in our app. This is the next step which we are moving forward with your blessings, Didi.
Congratulations. It's so beautiful to share it in the form of a magazine also, because easy to read and getting all the learning and the study together at the same time. Congratulations. I think the intentions are so pure. So you're always going to be touched as to what's the next best thing to do and what's the next best thing to do for every parent. Congratulations. Thank you so much, Dr. Jaideep, for everything.
Ravi, can we have?
Yeah, so this is the first look of the first edition of iMumz magazine. Thank you so much, Sister Shivani ji, for blessing us with each and every initiative. That's so divine, profound knowledge session. I was reading to the comments which users are sharing. They were glued to the entire 40 minutes and learned the life lessons. So thank you so much for motivating and inspiring for each and every initiative we have.
Thank you, Ji. Thank you so much.
I think we have come to the end of our this little small event, but this is the beginning of a great, I would say, movement, which we would definitely like each and every one, whether it is the doctors fraternity or the support staff as the nurses, the pharma companies, the medical representatives, the other fraternities from the medical aspect, and plus our pregnant women, because a movement basically is one which takes people together, inspires people to perform much better. And I'm sure today with this pandemic, each one of us has learned that the way forward is to look after ourselves, to look after our environment, to look after what legacy are we going to leave behind for our future generations. It should be all green, blue, and red, and not black and white, which is something which I'm sure all of us feel from within our heart. But it is also our duty to inspire people whom we feel that we can, to basically look and move forwards together. And I am sure with all this teamwork which we have generated amongst ourselves, we are going, sky's the limit to where we can reach. And another very important aspect I would like to today say, we have actually utilized so much oxygen from this earth. I think we need to repay back. We've utilized so many resources. It's our time to repay back to our Mother Earth. So plant as many trees as possible and use all the resources with whatever little restraint which you can. And please do not disturb the equilibrium of the world. And this equilibrium will only be restored if our future generations are healthy, wealthy, and wise in every possible way. Thank you so much for being with us. And I am learning the art of living with all of you. And I am sure together we are going to teach a lot of people to be with us. And this is the way forward. Thank you very much. I am absolutely blessed with all of you in my life. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Jaideep ji. With the inspiration which Sister Shivani ji gave us already, please follow a responsive style of parenting. For the same to help you out, we have this iMumz app for parenting with you, which has 5 minutes lessons of responsive parenting for each and every week of your parenting style, incorporating so many teachings, which Shivani ji was saying, how to say, how to give the resources, so many interesting psychological things. And also, Sister Shivani ji, thank you so much for encouraging and about the toys. It's the little amount of toys and the creativity which your child uses will contribute to the development of your child. Thank you so much for beautifully summarizing the importance of that, Shivani ji. So please use this Bazoo Eco Play Kit, which is there available inside iMumz app from today. You can see all these cute little toys available inside. These are the only set of chemical-free, naturally crafted local artisan toys which are there for you. We have more than 1,000 activities for the development of 0 to 2 years of your child's development, with the usual iMumz signature live sessions by great doctors like Professor Santosh ji. He also graced one Ask Me Anything session very recently. With this, we have all the care which is required for you, which we give you in your pregnancy. Especially first 1,000 days are very important, which Sister Shivani ji has highlighted. So please do take care. Let's continue this inspiration. And the inspiration which Sister Shivani ji gave us also drived us, to reach this to every single parent of the country. When she launched this app, she said these beautiful words, which strongly I took it. The entire team of iMumz took it. So thank you so much for inspiring the team also, Shivani ji. With this note, I would really, really like to thank and be grateful to Sister Shivani ji for gracing this. And thanks to all our chief guests, Professor Santosh ji, Dr. Shanta Kumari ji, Dr. Alpesh ji. Kashmira Shah ji couldn't join us because of some emergency, but she was very accommodating. So thanks to her. And of course, the stellar co-founding team of iMumz, Dr. Jaideep Malhotra ji and Shri Rajesh Jigesia ji. Thanks all the viewers for watching and supporting iMumz. We are together in this journey, and please feel free to reach to the team for any sort of assistance. With this wonderful note, I would like to conclude this beautiful day and the beautiful start.
Thank you. Thank you so much.